So today we're doing the Orlando Dreamers rebuild, and you're probably thinking there's no expansion or relocation or customization in franchise. How are you going to do this? Imagination. We're going to have to use our imagination today, and we're going to take over the Rays. And I know in the presentation or whatever it was for the Orlando Dreamers, there was mention that it wouldn't affect the Marlins or the Rays at all. But since we're very limited in the customization options we can do with MLB The Show, we have to pretend that the Rays are now the Orlando Dreamers. So how this is going to work is we're going to approach it as if it was an expansion team, and we're going to completely redo the roster. I went through all the other MLB teams and took some of their players from their teams. Obviously I didn't take their top players, and I've completely changed this Rays roster. I kept a couple of the Rays players just so that it was, it was somewhat okay, but I didn't keep really any of the top ones. I think I kept the highest rated was Charlie Morton and Austin Meadows. The rest are kind of just sporadic around with the ratings. I think the highest player after that is a 75. So we definitely have an expansion team roster. Not the best, and I think that's going to make this rebuild a little bit of a challenge. So if you guys like this and you guys want to see some more rebuilds, make sure you hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content, and as always, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know future videos you would like to see. If you missed yesterday's video, it's going to be on screen now and in the top right hand corner. We did the Dominican Republic team build, and I forgot a very key player, so go back and watch it if you missed it and let me know in the comment section who I forgot. I can't believe I forgot him. You got to go check it out. So today's video, the Orlando Dreamers rebuild. Let's go check out this expansion roster. All right, so my controller's broken right now, so if you ever just see this happening where it just goes up by itself, that's why. So I gotta go pick up a new one, and it's kind of a problem. Right now it's kind of starting to do it thing by itself. So we're gonna have budgets, ignore budgets off. We can't force trades. Everything is the normal standard rebuild settings. And let's take a look at this roster, because it's gonna be interesting, because I mentioned we only kept a couple Rays players, and for the most part it's a completely changed roster. So as you can see, we have Morton, Urania, Gosman, Whitley, Blackburn, and Skoglund. So we have a couple free agents, a couple other starting pitchers that were throughout the majors, but no one that's a key player. Charlie Morton's gonna decrease in rating very, very quickly, and I really don't think any of these starting pitchers are a player I would want to be my ace. The minor league or the farm system, I kept it pretty much the same, since the farm system is kind of not untouchable in an expansion draft, but it's not really dug into just that much for an expansion draft. So for relief pitchers, I kind of just went with some of the lower rated Rays bullpen, and then just a couple free agents or some other pitchers from other teams. So this is what we're working with: Addison Reed, Sean Gilmartin, Shane Carl, Nick Anderson, Emilio Pagan, and Colin Potch. Not the best. It definitely needs some work. And then we don't really have a closer, so we're gonna have to rely on the bullpen for sure. For catchers, we got Evan Gattis and Travis d'Arnaud. First base, we have Mark Reynolds and Tyler Austin. Second base, we have Carlos Asuaje and Eric Sogard. We also do have Christian Adames and Joey Wendell. I think Joey Wendell was just actually cut by the Rays in real life, so I guess we could do that. Jed Lowry from the Mets. We decided to take him just because I figured the Mets probably don't want him that much anymore, since he just can't stay healthy. Shortstop, we have Rosel Herrera. We also do have Willy Adames. That was kind of the one player from the infield that I really wanted to keep from the Rays. And then when you look at the outfield, we have Franchi Cordero, Leonis Martin, and then Austin Meadows and Carlos Gonzalez. So again, it's not a good team at all. It definitely needs some improvement. A lot of aging players is kind of the theme with this squad, so we definitely are gonna have to make some changes to improve this team. Bullpen is a huge problem, and then when you look at the lineup, again, it's not that good. We definitely are gonna need to make some changes. We're currently ranked 24th. So we'll see how this goes. In free agency, there's a couple players like Avisail Garcia that we let go, Zunino. We could bring in Scooter Gennett, but I'm just gonna let the first season play out, see what happens. With our budget, we've definitely got some money to spend, and I'm kind of interested to see what we could do. So like I said, I'm just gonna let the first season play out, see how this expansion team does, and then season 2 and season 3 will make a huge change to this team and see what we can do with the Orlando Dreamers squad. All right, so a lot of you guys have been asking for drafts in the rebuild, so I decided to just, let's try it out, especially since we're kind of doing an expansion draft. Unrealistic, fantasy, imagination, whatever you want to call it, rebuild. Why not try it out? So we got Tom Fairhurst was our first pick, 94 potential, 67 overall. I'm pretty happy with that pick. Next up, 78 potential for Quinton Rodriguez, 76 potential for Emilio Campos, a catcher. We got Giuseppe Hoff, who's got 79 potential, Robert Murray, who's got 85 potential, Felipe Serrano, second baseman. I thought he was actually going to be a little bit better, only 70 potential. And then we got Ray Bart, who's got 69 potential, which is nice, but it's not nice. So I'm actually pretty happy with the top picks, like Fairhurst. Rodriguez isn't terrible either. We got Campos, who could be a backup catcher right away. He's actually got really good hitting stats, so I'm kind of happy with that one. Giuseppe Hoff, 79 potential, and then 85 potential for Robert Murray. It's not terrible at all. All right, so our first season's coming to an end, and we're finishing about 500. Not there. 79 and 83. Did I expect us to do well? No. Did I expect us to make the postseason? Definitely not. No league leaders, unfortunately. Awards: a Gold Glove for Mark Reynolds and Jed Lowry. MVPs were Trout and Ozuna. And then we got Cy Young for Paxton and Scherzer. Okay, so let's take a look at our pitching rotation, see how things went. Charlie Morton didn't decrease as much as I would have thought. And next year, I know he will for sure. So it's going to be tough to see if we keep him or not. Is it worth keeping him? Chase Whitley was terrible. Urania wasn't that bad. We might keep on to Urania. I know he's kind of a scumbag, but we'll see. We could possibly keep him. Kevin Gausman looks like he's developing pretty well, so we'll see what happens there. And Paul Blackburn wasn't too great. Eric Skoglund, not great either. Carl wasn't terrible. Pagan was pretty bad. Poche, whatever his name is, pretty bad. Nick Anderson wasn't great. Gil Martin was amazing, and Addison Reed was good. So we got a good setup and closer, an okay arm in Carl, it looks like, but definitely need to improve that pitching staff. I think that's going to be the big aim this offseason. So when we take a look at our bench, pretty disappointing. And then when you take a look at our lineup, we got Martin, who hit 256, 16 home runs, 57 RBIs. Not terrible. Asuaje actually did pretty well. Pretty happy with that. Austin Meadows, the average isn't there. Some run production, but definitely would like a little bit more. Mark Reynolds wasn't bad at all. Okay, not bad at all. I'm kind of happy with that. Carlos Gonzalez was really solid. 33 home runs, 100 RBIs, 303 average. Okay, how many extra base hits? 37 doubles, two triples. Okay, I'm happy with that. Evan Gattis was pretty bad. Willie Adames, not great. Franchi Cordero, not terrible. And then you got Jed Lowry, who hit 229. What's his contract? One more year? We're gonna have to figure something out. We do have a lot to work with in the budget, so let's head into the offseason, see what we can do, because we definitely need to make some changes to the squad. Did that just say the White Sox won the World Series? It did. All right. That's how it's gonna be. So no one retired from us, so we're gonna have Charlie Morton for another year. Do we bring back Carlos Gonzalez? He had a good year. At 34, is he gonna keep it up though? What does he want for a season? $3 million? Oh, that's not bad at all. Let's just offer it to him, and then I think the rest we'll let walk. We got that rookie that we could use as a backup catcher, so I think we're set there. So let's keep moving forward, see what we can do in free agency, see what we can do with contracts and stuff. It won't let me advance because my controller is trying to move up, and 40-man, not really interested there. Arbitration, I think we're gonna offer it to everybody, might as well. Contracts wise, yeah, I think we'll just offer it to everybody. Maybe not Drake, there's no point in paying him. And then Probably probably pay the rest of the guys there. And then when we look at free agency, I definitely want to improve the pitching. I don't want to spend a lot of money though. That's the thing. I don't want to just go like all out and blow our budgets like season 2, especially since we have a 3rd season to worry about. We could bring back Yoni Chirinos. Anybody else that's interesting? Not really. A bullpen arm, I'd be okay spending a little bit of money on like a Cishek or a Betances just to have like a reliable arm. And then catcher, I don't really want to spend big money there. First baseman, Mark Reynolds was great, but I definitely want to get a little bit younger. Second base, we had Asuaje who did well, so I think I'm gonna leave it there. This guy though, I'm gonna pick up because even though his hitting stats are atrocious, except for that power versus lefties, he could be a good trade piece for season 3. And then let's take a look. Third base, maybe a Josh Donaldson or Moustakas for a season. Shortstop, I'm gonna give Adames another year. And then when we take a look at the outfield, you know, nothing too crazy. So we'll leave it there, see what we can do, and I'll catch you guys at the start of season 2. All right, to start season 2, we're gonna go for a Giovanni Gallegos of the Cardinals. Had a decent year last year, a 3.28 ERA over almost 100 innings. So his whip is at 1.3. We're gonna trade Pagan and Beeks. Both of them didn't do too well last year. So Beeks had a 9 ERA, Pagan had a 4.4. Let's just add maybe a little bit more of a reliable arm there. Free agency didn't go as hoped. The only player we actually got was Josh Donaldson. Every other player just took more money elsewhere. I tried to get Mad Bum, he went to the Braves instead. So yeah, it didn't go too great. we'll just put it that way, unfortunately. So I'm gonna let Gil Martin be the setup guy. Betances is gonna close things out. Maybe we'll kind of go like that, just so we have like a righty and a lefty as a setup, and then we let these 3 guys hold the middle, and then we got Skoglund there. I might even take Chase Whitley out, let him be a long reliever because he's only got 69 stamina. Nice. And then maybe try to trade like Blackburn and maybe another player, see if we can get a better starting pitcher. Because you look at our lineup's pretty bad. We got the rookie Campos starting at catcher, and then we just really don't have much else to work with. We do have Christian Adames, who we, expansion drafted, who we could trade, who's kind of surplus right now. Maybe try to get a better starting pitcher, maybe kind of buff this lineup a little bit. There's no one in free agency. I've already checked. It's looking a little scarce. So let's trade Blackburn and Adames, and then see if we can get someone as well. We did get that free agent Fernando Marquez with the crazy good power. We'll probably trade him next year when he does have some value. But let's try to get an okay starting pitcher, and I think that might have to do it for season 2. It's not going too great, but we're gonna have to figure something out. All right, it's not the craziest of trades, but for some reason Carlos Rodon in franchise right now does very well. He had a 2.79 ERA last year. We're gonna give him another shot if my controller would let me back out. We're gonna go for Rodon for Blackburn and Adames. That's our new starter. I like that. I guess we kind of don't need, as you can see, my controller's just having like a seizure or something right now. We don't really need Jed Lowry anymore. Let's see if we can trade him for something, and then see if we can maybe trade Rosell Herrera as well, and then just sign like a backup shortstop. That way we can get rid of some of these players. And then what do we need? Like obviously a catcher, but maybe like a new center fielder. All right, I'm not too sure about this deal. We're gonna trade Lowry, Rosell Herrera, and Leonis Martin for Domingo Santana and Rodis Vizcaino. I'm more worried about Vizcaino. That's kind of the big thing. So let me change the lineup and the rotation and the bullpen a little bit, and I'll show you guys what we're working with for season 2. All right, so this is kind of what we're working with now. It's a little bit better. Domingo Santana hops in left. We got Carlos Gonzalez or Franchi Cordero playing center. It was actually kind of like this. It's not bad. I like it. It's a little bit stronger than what we had previously. The pitching rotation looks a little bit stronger as well. Rodon. And then as well as Vizcaino, we have Addison Reed. I guess Vizcaino could go here. I don't know. Well, I don't trust him. I don't know why I traded for him. I'm starting to really regret it. You're probably thinking, why I don't trade some of my top minor leaguers? Well, I'm trying to stay away from the farm system because I think that would just make it way too easy. So if they come up and they're like good enough to play, I'll use them, but I don't want to trade them because I feel like that's kind of cheating. So that's why I'm not trading my top prospects for top players, because I feel like that's just going to be cheating if I use them. So we're just going to only use them to like actually be part of the lineup if they're good enough. So we are ranked 22nd. Not much has changed. I don't think we're making the postseason either. We got one more season to turn this team around. Let's see how season 2 plays out. All right, season 2 didn't go well either. 77 and 85. I think that's actually worse than what we did last year. So things are getting worse. We finished 29 games out. I think we're in some trouble. I think we're really in some trouble. We got another Gold Glove. Don't really care about that. I want to win games. That's what I want to win. Charlie Morton's gone, thank God. Rodon, okay, that's better. Skoglund, not great. Gosman, not great. Urania, not great. We definitely need to fix this pitching rotation. Chase Whitley, a little bit of a bummer. What's just the bullpen is so bad. Everybody's bad. What is going on? What about this lineup? How's this looking? Austin Meadows is a beast. Okay, Josh Donaldson's good. Carlos Gonzalez is a beast. What's going on with this? Mark Reynolds is not doing great. He's decreasing. Willie Adames a little bit better than last year. But for the most part, pretty disappointing. I forgot to mention I signed Miggy Rojas for a 1-year deal out of free agency. But I mean, it didn't really play a part, as you can see. Things aren't looking too solid. We definitely need to make changes this offseason. 100%. Like just throw in the entire just open checkbook to everybody. Like, here's just whatever you want, take it. Because we need something. We need something big. Yes. Everybody can go. Let's just we're gonna let everybody walk for now, and we're gonna see what we can come up with in free agency. So arbitration, maybe Gil Martin, yes to Rodon, and yes to Santana. Everybody else could probably walk. Contracts, we're gonna give everybody a contract. All right, this is where we got to spend big money because we don't really have a center fielder. We do have Santana and Cordero. We just let Gonzalez walk, which I know is kind of a bummer, but I think it was the right move. We need to like move on and see what we can do. Marcus Semien might be a move. DJ LeMahieu, second base, we're okay. First base, Jack Peterson, maybe. That wouldn't be a bad one. Catcher, we're gonna leave. And then we definitely need to focus here. We need to just throw money here and see what we can get. James Paxton, definitely want to try to get him. He's always good in franchise. How was Ryu last season? Not bad. Might be an option. And then the rest of the pitchers are kind of let down. So we're going to have to maybe just focus on the bullpen. Maybe try to get Keone Kela. Maybe try to get Andrew Miller for a season. Do we want Yates? No, we don't. What about Ken Giles? That's a little bit better. Alex Colomé, probably him. We definitely just need to just throw money at people. All right, start season 3. We're locking down the starting rotation. Chase Whitley, Willie Adames, and that second baseman that we signed in the first like free agency period, Fernando Marquez. He actually looks pretty bad, so I'm glad we're gonna trade him. We're gonna get Luis Castillo for a starting pitcher. So we definitely need to like pad the like bench a little bit. We're a little bit low on players, so I'm probably just gonna maybe just look at free agency because there are a couple okay players. Looking at our outfield, it's lacking. So we definitely need someone there. I'm gonna bring in Rojas again for another season just because he's not terrible. He definitely does the job. If he'll just take a contract, that would be nice. There we go. There's that. I'm gonna go with Joe Panic as well. Again, another just reliable option to go with. So we'll just go with him. Just take the contract. We're gonna have to do the same. 6.5. No, what about 7? You want 7? Can't afford it. All right, I'll give you a 2-year deal, and I'm definitely bumping this down. How about that? All right, cool. And then I think that might be it. I think that's we're actually over. I already know who can get sent down. We don't need them. You can get sent down. We're gonna send you to AAA. That's fine. And now we're kind of low on outfielders, so we can just go sign one. I think our team's set. I might bring back Gonzalez just because he was so good, and he's just gonna be a bench bat anyways. Let's just do that for a season. We can't afford it. We're gonna have to trade for somebody, or we're gonna have to call somebody up, and I don't think we have anybody. I guess we could call back Cousins. Yeah, I guess we'll just do that. He's going to be our bench bat anyway. So let's take a look at the lineup and pitching rotation now. You guys can see what we're working with. No, he's not going to be there. I guess we do need a long reliever, but I'm actually not going to freak out about it. When you take a look at this starting rotation, this team is stacked. It is nice. We completely changed the rotation. We got Castillo, Paxton, Rodon, Rio, and Skoglund. Our bullpen looks really solid. Gallegos, Gil Martin, Carl's a little questionable. Reed's a little bit questionable. We don't really have anybody that we could call up anyways, so I'm just going to stick with it. We brought in Andrew Miller, Keone Kela. I'm liking what we have for the bullpen. When you take a look at our lineup now, we got Semien, we got Asuaje, Meadows, Donaldson's back, Jack Peterson's in, we got Santana, Austin, Franchy Cordero, and then Emilio Campos. Our bench, it's not amazing, but it's not terrible. I like the team. We definitely have improved, so that's a good thing. We got to get Jack in here somewhere. Oh, versus lefties, we'll leave him out for this lineup. All right, where are we ranked now? It's got to be better. 11th. This is a postseason team for sure. Let's hop into season 3. Actually, no, we're already in it. Let's see how season 3 plays out. All right, so we made the postseason as a wild card team. So I'm assuming we just snuck in there, set 91 and 71, and we're taking on the Athletics. So let's go take a look. Oh, no awards this time. No league leaders. We finished 11 games out. We're at 13th ranked now, so we've actually dropped 2 spots. And in the wild card, we actually had the top spot, and we were 5 games ahead there. So let's take a look, see how the team did. Castillo was amazing, very solid season. Paxton, not as good as I would have hoped, but still not terrible. Rodon was good. Rio was amazing, and then Skoglund wasn't great, but still, you know what, as a 5 starter, not the worst. Gallegos was good. Addison Reed had a bounce back season, which is good to see. Gil Martin, not as good as I would have hoped. Shane Carl, that is what I'm looking for. Amazing stats. Andrew Miller was great. Keone Kela, not so much, and Dellin Betances, pretty solid. How many blown saves? 6. You know what? I'll live with it. It's not terrible at all. Let's take a look at our bench. Dylan Cousins was pretty bad. Miggy Rojas, you know, not terrible, not amazing. Michael Perez as our backup catcher wasn't bad. And Tyler Austin just hits bombs. That's really about it. You're not going to get a good average with him. Asuaje, not terrible. He wasn't a bad pickup as a player that I was like, you know what, let's just pick him up, see what happens as part of our expansion draft. Marcus Semien wasn't as good as I would have hoped, which sucks because his last 2 seasons, he was hitting 270 with like mid-20s home runs. He kept that up with like doubles are up there, RBIs are up there, just the average dropped. Austin Meadows, I had to keep him. He's just part of the Rays or the Orlando Dreamers now, and he just puts up crazy good numbers. Josh Donaldson was a good pickup for the last 2 seasons, almost 300 this year. Good amount of home runs, good amount of RBIs. Jack Peterson, 40 home runs, 116 RBIs, perfect. Domingo Santana, solid pickup. Joe Panic, not as good as I would have hoped, but as a bench bat / DH, I'll take it. Franchy Cordero is actually pretty good. Pretty impressed by this. And then Emilio Campos, I'm pretty happy that we drafted him. He's up to 78 already. 20 doubles, 6 home runs, 36 RBIs, 276 average. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I know the only player I was thinking about bringing up would have been Wander Franco, but I think we'll be okay. So, postseason time. 1 game playoff. Do we advance? Can the Orlando Dreamers make it in their first playoff appearance? We got Castillo on the mound against the Athletics. Puig, okay. Crush Davis, is this MVP Crush Davis or is this going to be bad Crush Davis? They have Tyler Glasnow, Austin Meadows goes deep, then Jack Peterson goes deep. Great start. But they did get 1 back, so it's a 2-run game. 1-run game. Let's not let them back into this. We get 1 of those runs back, so we're back up to a 2-run lead. So far, so good. Controller's starting to freak out a little bit, so I got to be careful with what happens. And then let's just keep going. So far, so good. I'm liking what I have in 5th inning here. And we got a tie ball game. Tie ball game. Really? That's a good start. Get a single. Pops up. Gets the run back. Dylan Cousins. Okay. Okay. What are we gonna do? As you can see, the controller's doing it. Like I'm not moving it. It's the controller by himself. We're gonna do a pitching change. We're gonna go to, you know what? Carl was really good this year. Let's give it to him. He walks. Oh man, that's unfortunate. That is not what you want to see. And then can we get this this inning going? It's not looking like it. And then I need my controller to just let me control. Let me just. I didn't want to bunt. Are you serious? I'll be back once it stops doing this. All right, we're back. All right, it only took like 2 seconds. Double play, which is good. 1 run scores, and I think that might be it. Yeah. 4 runs, 2 innings. Unless like we go crazy, we go off. I think that might be it. Single. All right, you're done. Let's go to Kayla. He gets the out. It comes down to this. Panic gets on. That's a good start. Cordero flies out. Campos flies out, and then Asuaje gets out. Oh. Crush Davis. You just had to ruin everything with the 3-run home run. Ever since I called you overrated, you've been MVP in a video. You've destroyed me in the postseason. I guess I can't talk about you anymore because you made me eat my words. But that's how today's video is going to end. The Orlando Dreamers expansion, draft, rebuild, imagination rebuild, whatever you want to call it. We did it today, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And we got to get some relocation or expansion in MLB The Show franchise. That would just bring such a great aspect to the game mode that it's been missing for quite some time. But again, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy it. On screen now, you're going to see 2 videos, my most recent upload and also a video that YouTube recommends for them. If you haven't seen either of them, go and check them out. And then, of course, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.